Hello and welcome to the Cyber Safety News Show on the Safety News Network. I'm your host, Adam Blue, cybersecurity expert by day, content creator by night. But anyway, thanks for joining. This week, we're going to be looking at a lot of interesting cybersecurity news going on. That includes MGM getting hacked. That includes MFA missing on some vital hardware. And then the top 15 highest paid countries for cybersecurity experts. Let's see where the US is on that list. Hey, but before we get started, if you haven't, please subscribe. We're about to hit 100,000 by the time of this recording, and that is such an amazing feat. Thanks to Russ, Kendzior, and everything he does for the Safety News Network. But let's get started. All right, first up, MGM Resorts shuts down IT systems after cyber attacks. So let's jump into this. This is from Bleeping Computer. MGM Resorts International disclosed today that it is dealing with a cybersecurity issue that impacted some of its systems, including its main website, online reservations, and in-casino services like ATMs, slot machines, and credit card machines. MGM Resorts recently identified a cybersecurity issue affecting some of the computers or some of the company's systems. The company announced on its profile page on X, formerly known as Twitter, which Twitter trying to make its name shorter by being a single character. People always have to add formerly known as Twitter at the end. So anyway, the company says it started an investigation immediately after detecting the issue and took prompt action to protect our systems and data, including shutting down certain systems. And they put out a little notice here. Our investigation is ongoing and we are working diligently to determine the nature and scope of the matter. It appears that the outage started on Sunday night and computer systems in the resorts are currently down. Reports online note that the company switched to manual operations with the ATMs and credit card machines on properties having been affected. The MGM Resorts main website is also down, currently informing that customers can make hotel reservations at any of our destinations over the phone. MGM Rewards customers are also affected, and they've been instructed to call a member services number between 6 a.m. and 11 p.m. specific time. And then here's a list of, I guess, the affected locations and phone numbers to contact. But there's a lot to this. You think of what MGM Resorts brings in money-wise, the computer systems, security systems, all the different systems that are managing money. That is perfect for an attacker, especially for getting information on people. People that want to go and do some gambling or want to go to these places. Attackers can use that to get information for people. There's a lot that could be going on here. And it's horrible for those that went on vacation and maybe it got interrupted. Things are prolonged. We live in this cyber age where everything's done on a phone electronically, but now everything has to be done manually, like calling someone on a phone. What are we gonna do? But really, I mean, hey, if I was stuck in a situation like this too, it might make me a little discombobulated at first, like, what do I do without doing things digitally? But, at least they're on top of it. They're reporting it. Hopefully nothing bad comes of it. But let's move on to Akira ransomware attacks exploit zero-day Cisco ASA vulnerability. So this is a specific exploit on a Cisco system. So in recent developments, reports have surfaced regarding the Akira ransomware threat actors targeting Cisco VPNs lacking multi-factor authentication. There you go. That's what it was. There was no multi-factor authentication. Otherwise, this would not be a news story. So this vulnerability tracked as, and there's the number, can potentially allow unauthorized access to VPN connections, raising concerns about the security of remote access environments. Cisco acknowledged these reports and the observed instances where organizations without MFA on their VPNs have been vulnerable to infiltration. So if you don't know what a VPN is, it's a virtual private network. It's a way to have your own sort of network, whether that's on location somewhere or something that you will then sign into from a remote location. So then you're on this kind of virtual network, which is how it got its name. And that in itself, those VPNs are going to have a lot of critical infrastructure on them. Just the whole basis of what a VPN is. So to not have MFA on something like that, that's pretty scary. The vulnerability could severely affect organizations relying on Cisco ASA and FTD software for remote access solutions. Implementing MFA is emphasized as a crucial security measure to mitigate the risk of unauthorized access and potential ransomware infections. It provides an additional layer of protection, especially when threat actors attempt to gain access to VPN credentials through brute force attacks. Yes, threat actors using brute force attacks to just try to get as much information as possible, trying to farm those credentials, and then just spraying those credentials across multiple systems, and eventually they can get into some critical ones. Cisco has actively collaborated with Rapid7 in investigating similar attacks, tactics, and extends gratitude to Rapid7 for their valuable cooperation. So Akira ransomware. The Akira ransomware first came to light in March 2023, known for employing various extortion strategies and maintaining a Tor-based website for listing victims and stolen data. And Tor is a browser location on the dark web. It's like going into Chrome or Internet Explorer, but this is specifically for accessing the dark web. It's not safe to do. You could go on there, put any bit of information of yourself on there, and someone else could get it, can use it. It's almost like a black market, but digital. Let's see. Victims are directed to initiate negotiations through this site using unique identifiers provided in ransom messages. When targeting VPNs, attackers exploit exposed services and vulnerabilities in MFA and VPN software. They can attempt to extract credentials, escalate privileges, and pivot within the network. The use of tools like living off the land binaries and commercial off-the-shelf tools have been associated with this threat group. Two primary access methods are highlighted: brute forcing, involving automated attempts to username password combinations and purchasing credentials from the dark web, which may leave no trace in VPN logs. So yeah, that kind of ties things together, what the attackers are trying to do, and where they can then use this Akira ransomware, because yeah, they got in through vulnerabilities, bypassing MFA on a VPN. That's pretty critical. Moving on, we've got the 15 highest paying countries for cybersecurity experts. Curious what you think right now. If you want to post in the comments what you think maybe number one is, or where a country is on the list. I'm curious to see what you think, and then afterwards we could check that out. But to start, 15, United Arab Emirates with 96,000. Then we move to Singapore, Austria, Finland, Australia, Germany, Canada, Belgium, Netherlands, Norway. And then it has you click in. Luckily, I've done that for you, so you can avoid, clicking ads for them. But next, number 5 is United States. So 5 is the U.S. What does that mean? I don't know. Average salary, $118,000. Let's move on. 4, Denmark. 3, United Kingdom. 2, Luxembourg. And 1, Switzerland. That could be due to the bank accounts out there. But if we're going to look at what it says about United States, let's see. Predicted to grow even beyond $534 billion by 2032, up from $193 billion in 2022. The cybersecurity market in the U.S. is set to achieve an 11% compound annual growth rate from 2023 to 2032. Factors driving this growth include the rise of online e-commerce platforms, Internet of Things adoption, like webcams or security cameras, like a Nest thermostat, some randomly internet-connected devices. Cloud security and AI integration. U.S. is one of the best countries for cybersecurity jobs, although it ranks 5th in our list. But in the 90th percentile, the U.S. outranks all other countries for salaries in the cybersecurity industry. So I find that to be very interesting that, as much as the U.S. might be on top with some cutting edge technology, we could see that there are other places in the world where cybersecurity is really high up there and high paying. People are taking it seriously, and I think that's an important thing. Now, and we're seeing those, the average pay, but what does that mean for industries? I would be interesting to find, and if I do, I will share it here, industry salaries, because depending on the industry, there could be more that's at work for a cybersecurity analyst to do their job than maybe other industries, even though there's always that baseline collecting data from someone. If a company has few assets that can't really be used against them, it's really just going to be data and information. So I am curious the pay discrepancy between industries. It'd be very interesting to see if that exists. But anyway, thanks for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't. You'll love all the other content we get out of the Safety News Network here. We've got cybersecurity, we've got Russ's own show, and more to come. So thanks, and we'll talk later.